You are listening to Venus Rose, interactive spiritual Q&A and the power of sound.
Music is like sunshine.
Hello, conscious souls. How are you feeling? I personally am enjoying the Taurus season, with nature radiating in its fullest. We celebrated one of my best friend's birthdays some days ago. It was such a pleasure, meeting old friends, eating, talking, and simply enjoying each other's company, while honoring the birthday kid and her special cooking skills. Shout out to Susie and her delicious curry. I thought a lot about how humans treat each other and their animals during the week. Due to my profession, it is not unusual, but this week was more intense. It might have something to do with Pluto stationing retrograde on Wednesday in Aquarius. It means that the planet appears to move backwards, and astrology reads it that way. Aquarius is a visionary and works with the collective. Pluto is intense, as we may all remember from the Scorpio full moon last weekend. Many people were so tired. Pluto's energy wants change on a deep individual level. The deeper hidden truths are always in focus. As a so-called Plutonian, I love the deep hidden truths and like to bring them to the surface. I'm quite good at it, and I'm glad that people who come to me for a one-on-one session and want to work and understand their self better honor that. There were times when people did not like when truths were told. Anyway, I chose dignity this week because it fits for the Taurus themes, where different concepts of being worth are highlighted. Fixed earth is the energy of embodiment for me, and dignity is theoretically acknowledged as an absolute value, the inherent worth that every human has. Even in international law, it says the human dignity is inviolable. You could even translate it to being sacred, which it is for me, but are we living it? Do we treat each other that way? When you look into what is happening at this moment in time in the world, I ask, what about dignity? Not only because of the wars that are raging, but also because of everything being so superficial. I don't want to go too deep into judgment here, 'cause who am I to question why people do things? I merely want to share with you my thoughts and would like to urge you to do the same, so we can reflect and evolve as individuals and as a collective. Dignity has a lot to do with self-worth, and while it is so honorable to say the human dignity is inviolable, it's interesting how society has a way to bring forth shame. The energy of shame does not only inhibit self-growth, it literally suppresses it. From my point of view, it is the opposite to dignity. Although shame is more tied to external things, whether it is a humiliation in public or simply a relative that says, "Shame on you," it is still a very deep internal emotion that scrutinizes the worth of self, mostly in a harmful way, so that the inherent energy of I am who I am that every child brings with it when it's born gets peeled away, layer by layer. You are not good enough, or you are too much, and so on and on. You know what I mean. As a being with a dark skin complexion, I could tell you tales about it, how humans treat each other, who is too dark, or whose skin is not dark enough, for whatever reason. A friend told me she struggled with the spiritual community, although you might think it would be different there. At least I did when I was first welcomed in a spiritual community 2 decades ago. And I was so sad to see that the judgment was just as prominent there as with the normal folks. She said many rules about what you have to do or how you need to be in order to be properly acknowledged as someone who is spiritual were hurtful. I remembered that, but since I have already dealt with the being black thing since I was born, it did not bother me too much. I did my own thing, as every Plutonian would do. No offense to religious people out there, but it seems to me, but I could be wrong though, that many of you are the ones who have the most difficulties with forgiving. Judgment is a mechanism that we have all been taught, and everybody thinks it's human nature. But what if it is not? I heard in a podcast recently that when we judge someone, we are suppressing a feeling within us that wants to come up. What if we check on this mechanism and start questioning ourselves instead of judging others? The feeling that comes up for me is a sense of helplessness that I wish I didn't have when I look at others who struggle with forgiveness. I am only able to change my own inner world, and with it the perception of the outer one. In one of my recent episodes, we reflected about anger and how important it is to have boundaries. In order to preserve one's dignity, you need to have boundaries. A simple no can have a big impact in your outer circumstances, but it can be as much, if not even more crucial to your inner world, if you feel that you are honoring yourself by having respect for your feelings and vulnerability. The question that I chose for today that are tied together are: how do I recognize my own worth? Or how can I raise this feeling of self-worth, and with it my dignity, when it was diminished during my upbringing? Thank you so much for sending these in. I think they speak to many people out there. I believe that you determine your self-worth yourself, 'cause who else will? The way we are raised has a deep impact, and the social status might as well. In my eyes, we are all spiritual beings, whether we recognize it or not. And how much money someone has is of no importance. I'm speaking to the soul. Respect is, from my point of view, a major aspect in having dignity. Do you respect yourself? If so, you must likely feel the need to give it to others as well. Have you learned it at home? If not, and you sense that you don't like the way others treat you or try to manipulate you, learn to set your boundaries. I for sure would never treat others in a way that I do not want to be treated. Why would I? It makes no sense to me. Take a look at the people around you, those who are close. What do you like about them? Do you think they have worth? If so, why? Do you have similar traits? Often we admire others without recognizing that we are often similar in positive or negative ways. Anyway, it is more effortless to see things in others. To work on oneself is not easy and it takes time, but friends, people or animals are crucial. They reflect back to you what you bring forth within them. Surround yourself with people that emanate the warmth, clarity, or whatever quality that you may seek, consider worthy, and who have the same core values you aspire yourself. A frequency can be contagious. When you resonate with someone, vibration aligns with one another. That is also why it is important to spend time with people who love you, who value your company, those who see you for who you are and share things honestly with you. Those things who need development especially. Every one of us is in a process. And the shadow sides are the important ones. Like I always say, know thyself. Don't reject anything. Love and accept all things about you, and learn how to change habits you would like to leave behind. No one can rattle you if you know who you are in your core. Be attentive with yourself. The process of learning how to love yourself is so beautiful, and dignity is the higher sparkling octave that blossoms and radiates more and more in time. It helps you stay grounded if you are aware of it, and gives you strength you never knew you always had within you. It supports you to be present or stand up for yourself and others when challenges come up. Dignity is the frequency of the deep truth hidden within us that we are all divine. I love to hear from you. Taurus season has only 1 week left, and I want to talk about money and pleasure, both themes that are sensitive in the spiritual community. You can leave questions in the comments of my YouTube channel named Crystal Seraphim Sounds or my Instagram. For those of you who do not have social media and love to send questions or would like to book a one-on-one session with me to go on a soul sound journey to get to feel the dignity of your soul, send me an email for further details. You can find everything in the show notes. Thank you for tuning in. I wish you all a beautiful weekend. Love to you all, Rose.